We're ready to get started. I'm StampinDeDe. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And every third Thursday, except for this week, it's a third Friday, I do a mystery card. And I do it because I love the mystery cards. I love the creating process. I love seeing what can be done with a specific pattern, and then taking that pattern or that sketch or layout and making other cards. And my first one is usually my sample. It's usually not the one I send out to somebody or the one I use as a sample for others. But then I go on and make others. So I hope you enjoy that too, and will craft right along with me with the clues. I give you clues, one clue at a time, and you make the card. So that's what we're going to do today. And if you're watching the replay, then the nice thing about that is you can just kind of speed it up and move along, or stop it and catch up. But thank you for watching the replay too. And I would love it, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, if you would just comment and say, I'm here, I'm watching, give me a thumbs up, give me a smiley face. Even better, if you think it's something somebody you know would enjoy, share it with them. Now I want to remind you about our summer picnic basket challenge. Here's the basket. It's got some names in it already. So all summer long, June, July, and August, every time you comment, post a photo, attend an event, purchase online or in person, purchase online using the host code for that month. Anytime you do any of that, then you get a ticket in the basket. And at the end of the summer or the end of August, we're going to draw one name out of that basket, and I will send you a stamp set. So it's well worth it, well worth the effort. And I appreciate you following. Oh, if you go to my blog and follow my blog, click follow and put your email address in, you get a ticket for that. Any type of interaction that you do, you get a ticket for. And I love seeing who's watching, who's learning from what we're doing, who's posting what they've done. I love seeing your work. I love it. So, all right, today's mystery card is a fun fold card that I think you'll use over and over. I think you'll really enjoy it. I get most of my mystery, well, not most, I get some of my mystery cards from other demonstrators who have posted mystery cards. So there's always a chance that you've seen this before. Some of them I take a card I really like and I create the clues myself. And in that case, you would not have seen it as a mystery card. So this one has been done in the past by a demonstrator. And I just loved it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to share it. And if they've seen it before, they can watch it again, or they can just turn it off. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, I think that's all I needed to say. I'm going to turn the camera down, so give me a minute to do that, and then we're going to get started. All right. I never know. I don't know why I never know, but I do. I never know whether this is going to be right side up or upside down. And we've been out of town all week this week. We've been out of town. That's why I couldn't post on Thursday. So I didn't get a chance to practice. Whoops. But you see, I only looked at the camera. I didn't look at the screen. All right. So there we go. I did have it right. All right, here's the clue one, and I actually posted this clue before. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I posted this clue before we left, on our trip. And so some of you, you've had the chance to see it all week long, really. And so you needed colored cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11. I'm trying to get this somehow. When I let it down, I let it off a little bit. I got it off a little bit. There we go. You need colored cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11. You need another 2 more pieces of that same color cardstock at 1 3/4 by 5. And then you need basic white cardstock, 4 by 5 1/4. You need designer series paper. You need 2 pieces of 2 1/2 by 4. And for that, I want you to be sure this card is a landscape card. So these 2 pieces, they need to be vertical the way this is shown right here. Well, hello, what happened here? I think my camera is, my stand is not holding. So I need to tighten it up a little bit because I think it's turning. Whoops. All right. That should do it. Let me make sure. You know, the delay, there's a delay on the computer screen. All right. So you need 2 of those, 2 1/2 by 4. And they need to be, if you're using a pattern, it needs to go up and down. Then a different designer series paper, but a coordinating designer series paper that is 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. And these will be this way, but your pattern still needs to be up if it's a pattern. And then whatever dies, punches, stamps for your sentiment that you might need. All right. So if you have gathered those tools, hopefully you have, then we're gonna go on and keep going here. That was clue 1. So here comes clue 2. So for clue 2, you're going to score that colored cardstock, the 4 1/4 by 11. You're going to score it at 2 3/4 and 8 1/4 on the long side. And then use your bone folder and fold it in, and use your bone folder and secure those score lines. All right, you're going to score your colored cardstock, your base, your card base, at the 4 1/4 by 11 piece. You're going to score it at 2 3/4 and at 8 1/4. All right. So I don't see anybody on, but if you're on, if you'll just comment, I know people watch. If you'll just comment, then I can not run off and leave you. I can wait and make sure you've got everything done that needs to be done. All right, that's clue 2. Here's clue 3. Now you're going to adhere the designer series paper that measures 2 1/2 by 4 to the cardstock pieces that are just a little bit bigger. So you're going to adhere that designer series paper that's 2 1/2 by 4, each of those, to the coordinating cardstock piece. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm ahead of myself. You're going to take those 2 panels and you're going to adhere them to the front of the card. You've got 2 panels on the front of your card. And you're going to adhere those 2 pieces, the 2 1/2 by 4 inch pieces, to the front of the card. 1 on each panel. I'm sorry. I'm ahead of myself. Okay, hopefully you have done that. So we're going to go on. Clue number 4. Now you're going to add that basic white piece to the inside of the card. The basic white 4 by 5 1/4 piece to the inside of the card. So just adhere it to the inside of the card. If you want to do some stamping on it, of course you would. I would do that before I added it to the front of the card. But it's time now to add that to the front, to the inside of the card. I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay. Clue 5. Now, this is where I got ahead of myself a while ago. Now you're going to add the 2 designer series papers, the narrow ones. These 2 1.5 by 4 3/4 inch pieces to the colored cardstock that is just a little bit bigger than each one. So now you're going to add those 2 pieces to the 2 pieces of colored cardstock. All right. Clue 6. Now you're going to place, whoops, I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. I dropped a piece of paper. Now you're going to place the 2 pieces of designer series paper, colored cardstock from Clue 5, those 2 that you just put down, on the top of your card, the front of your card, to see how to line them up. And I'm going to show you a sample. Now this is not the right size, and it's not a card front, but this would be your card front. This would be your card front where you open it up. This is, you've got cardstock on the, designer series paper on these 2 panels, and it's folded over and it opens up like this. So now you're going to take these 2 pieces of designer series paper that are left, and you're going to position them. These are the ones and they're going to be, yeah, there we go. You're going to position them on the front of your card. These are mounted on cardstock. You're going to position them on the front of the card where there's spaces in between. And you're probably going to have space on the edge too. I didn't cut these true to size. I just wanted to show you an example of how you're going to position these. So the clue says to place the 2 pieces of DSP colored cardstock from Clue 5 on top of the front of your card to see how to line them up. You want them to be spaced equally from the top, bottom, sides, and each other. So you want to have a little space here too, and yours are cut to do that. All right. Now, you're going to add adhesive to the left side, to this side of the top. So you're going to turn this over, and you're going to add adhesive right here. And you're going to adhere it to this left panel, right where you want it to be. So the only part that'll be stuck down will be this right here. This will not be stuck down. Okay. So do that. Add adhesive to the left side of the card, of the designer series paper, and then place it on the left side of your card. And then clue 8, you're going to add adhesive to the right side of the bottom piece, the designer series paper colored cardstock piece. So you're going to place your adhesive on this one on this side, the right side. You're going to put your adhesive right here. That's old scrap paper. And then you're going to glue it down to the right side, the right panel, the bottom of the right panel. All right. So in essence, see if I can make it do it. These are going to open up. If this were really the card front, they're going to open like this. Got it? Okay. All right. I keep looking to see if anybody is stamping with me so I don't run off and leave you. All right, clue 9. Now you're going to stamp a small greeting on that basic white layer. The you're just going to use a basic white scrap. You're going to have the 4 by 5 1/4 that you've put on the inside, and then you're going to have a scrap. And on that scrap, you're going to stamp your greeting and use your trimmer or a die, whatever you want, to cut it out. I just used the trimmer on mine. So I just cut out the greeting. All right, clue 9, here comes clue 10. Now you're going to create a mat out of your colored cardstock scrap. Create a mat for your greeting, and it just needs to have a tiny edge around it. So go ahead and create a mat for your greeting and glue them together. All right, and now you're going to add that greeting layer to the card front on one of the panels with dimensionals. So you can put it on the top panel or the bottom panel, your designer series paper panel. So add that to your card front. Okay. You know, we just got back from Kentucky, and it was just as hot there as it is here in Texas. It just seems to be really hot everywhere right now. Everywhere. All right, that's clue 11. Here's clue 12. If you want to stamp and cut out an image for the front of your card, you can do that now and add it with dimensionals to the front as well, to one of the panels, one of the 2 panels. Yes, I'm ready for this heat wave to be over. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I like summer, but when you can hardly breathe outside and you can't really get outside to do anything, that makes it really hard. Plus, my plants, my poor plants. I mean, I'm watering them. I keep them in the shade as much as I can, but it's just so hot. It's burning them. Is it doing that to yours too? Well, all right. So if you want an image for the front of your card, then you've cut it out. You stamped it or punched it, and added it to the card front with dimensionals. Now, that's it. That is it. So, I hope you've had time to create your card. I didn't see anybody crafting with me, so I didn't go as slow as I might go. But hopefully, if you're watching the replay, you can slow it down and stop it and do that step and then go to the next clue. And I hope you've created a card, a beautiful, fun fold card. And if you have, please add it to my group page, which is StampinDeDe's Doings and Designs, and add it to the Mystery Cards June 17th album, 6/17/22 album. I would love to see your card. I would love to see it. You can't add it to this page, but you can add it to my group page, to the album that I've already set up. So please do that. All right, are you ready for the reveal? All right, here is reveal number 1. Here it is. I love black and white. Do y'all like black and white? I love black and white cards with just a splash of color, and that's what this is. So you can see here how this opens up. There we go. And it just closes back like this. Isn't that cool? And it gives you a place on the front to add something and to add a sentiment. So I just cut these out. I stamped and cut out the leaves and the flowers from the new cottage, the new Abigail Rose suite, and then added a couple of jewels in the center of each flower. And then my leaves I stamped in the Parakeet Party, the new in color Parakeet Party. So I added a little bit of the Parakeet Party twine to the front, and I can see I need to tighten it. So let me do that. I need to tighten my bow. This parakeet, or this twine, or this ribbon, it's metallic ribbon, and it doesn't stay tight. There. All right, now I'm going to trim it just a little bit. Right there. This one doesn't really need to be trimmed as much. But okay. All right, card number 1. Sample number 1. And then this one is a more whimsical card. And I used, oh, what is the name of that paper? The, here it is. Butterfly Kisses. I used the Butterfly Kisses Designer Series paper for this one. I cut out I fussy cut a couple of the butterflies. I backed it in the Orchid Oasis, and so I used some of the Orchid Oasis ribbon on the card. A couple of, actually I think I went ahead and used the Starry Sky dots, enamel dots. And so there's how that one opens up. Aren't they cute? I put it in a different place. I just hot glued or used a glue dot to put the ribbon on my sentiment on this one. So these are my 2 samples, and I'm dying to see yours, to see what you've done with it, and you know what paper you've used. So anybody would just love to get this card, and I hope you've enjoyed it. This is your third Thursday, StampinDeDe's third Thursday mystery card on Friday this time. So you have a blessed day. Thank you for watching.